case, we have a panel which is composed by different type of people. We have Philippe Laredo, which is the RISIS project coordinator in English. Then we have Benedetto Lepori from University USI, which is the Università della Svizzera Italiana of Lugano, and Thomas Merkel from Austrian Institute of Technology in Vienna, which are two key partners of the RISIS and NOMAD projects. And then we have our three persons which act as a counter voice from RISIS. They are Susan Cossen, that you know very well, she's from Georgia Tech University. And we have Dr. Ilaria Cava, which is from Göttingen University and in charge of Open Air, and REDA Research Data Alliance, and Dr. Ken Jonkers, which is Deputy Head of the DG Research Joint Research Center. So the panel should have a discussion around what RISIS and NOMAD can offer to the users. And the key topics addressed in this panel should be the value of a research infrastructure to address policy issues, research policy issues, the problem of access to data and RISIS resources from different users, and the availability of indicators and tools coming from this kind of infrastructure. You know very well that infrastructure is something which is changing the way in which, the mode in which knowledge is produced, and the confrontation with RISIS and NOMAD is a good way to understand where we are going and what are the challenges for both users and for producers. So we start with a short talk from Philippe, and then we move with the two presentations of joint presentation of Benedetto Lepori and Thomas Merkel, and when we move on with the other interventions from the people. So Philippe, it's your turn.
So I won't say much. I think I want to leave room for the panel. I think that you will be presented something that addresses one aspect of what we debated just before in a key lecture, which is what do we know about what we do when we discuss issues that are linked with societal challenges or political debates. How can we map the knowledge that we have and the NOMAD project that we have produced? And the NOMAD project was in fact a sister project of RISIS, where in RISIS we built data sets, and in NOMAD we try to organize the ability to merge them to answer that type of question. And I think it's better to spend time about understanding what we've been doing, the complexities of it, and at the same time what type of relevance of the knowledge we produce to nurture public debates on societal issues. And I think with that I will leave the room for the presentation.
Thank you very much, Philippe. Good morning also from my side. In order to frame the discussion a little bit, we want to give an overview about the main resources that RISIS has established and is currently establishing, and actually how researchers and other interested people from policy, firms, funding agencies can access these resources. And essentially, we can distinguish 4 different types of resources that we offer within RISIS. And first and foremost, and the very backbone of RISIS, are clearly the RISIS R&I datasets that are robust, standardized, and cleaned datasets addressing relevant topics in our field in science, technology, innovation, and policy studies. Second, these datasets are interlinked by 2 organization registers, one on public research and one on the private sector. Then third, we follow the demand not only from the research community but also from non-research users not only to provide raw data, but also to provide indicators, ready-made indicators on relevant topics. And fourth, RESIS supports researchers that access RESIS resources by a set of services and methodological and technical support. And these resources can be mobilized to address some of the research issues that we have also lively debated here in this conference, for instance, the relationships between R&D policy and R&D processes and R&D outputs, exploring firm innovation capabilities and their drivers, geographical dynamics of knowledge production and innovation, or at a more concrete level, the identification of R&D actors in different fields, where are they located and how are they interconnected, which is more addressed by NOMAD, for instance. So when we look at the backbone, which is the RESIS datasets, we can thematically group them in four large topics. First, we have firm innovation capabilities that are addressed by 3 datasets within RESIS. We had one presentation by Antoine and colleagues yesterday about the demonstration of the Corporate Invention Board, CIB, a dataset on 4,000 largest R&D performers worldwide. And then we have 2 extremely interesting datasets about recent highly debated topics, the VICO dataset about startup firms and venture capital in Europe, and the CHITA datasets on small and fast-growing and small and medium-sized fast-growing firms, which are considered as key for economic growth processes. Then we have 3 datasets, we sometimes call it the classical ones, R&D output-oriented datasets, publications from CWTS on patents, the IFRIS-TATSTAT database, and on project-based knowledge creation and project-based networks, the UPRO database. Then we have covered the topic of public research and higher education, mainly by the RESIS ETA dataset, that is a register on higher education institutions and providing a range of statistics and indicators on them. And then we have the topic of policy learning that is covered by the CIPA database, which is a repository of policy evaluations. It is really important to note that these datasets are continuously updated, they are maintained to keep them relevant, and they are also deepened to address new upcoming issues, for instance by integrating new modules or new functionalities to use them for research activities. Next to these larger database, we have some specialized smaller datasets that are also accessible within RESIS. On research careers, for instance, the MORE and the Profile dataset, or on transnational programs, the JORIC dataset. And we are also addressing very recent upcoming debates by developing new datasets, one on public research funding, one on non-academic PhD careers, and 2 on what we call non-technological innovation, namely on social innovation and on trademarks. So, of course, you will be very interested in hopefully how you may access this universe of RESIS data, and you can access us via the RESIS data platform that you can access via RCF resis2.eu. And RESIS datasets are open for research purposes for researchers that pose a research project in the platform. And now I'm talking only about the access for these raw datasets I have talked about now. We have also some public resources that can definitely give us some more information in the next. It is important to note that we are moving at the moment from physical to distant access, so you can access these datasets at a distance, but we keep the possibility for physical visits, so the researcher interested can come to the host institution of the dataset developer, and this is even reimbursed within RESIS. As mentioned, we have a number of resources that are already public and fully online, like OTREC, RESIS ETA, and RESIS NOMAD, and that's where Benedetto will tell us some more about these resources in the text. I would also like to mention that the RESIS platform is really the heart of access and is under constant development. And we really hope that from 2020 on we will have a dashboard that includes the data storage directly in the platform, enabling direct access of these data sets, enabling dynamic interlinking of the data sets directly in the platform, and the provision of services and data analytic tools. Because one of the essential elements of WSIS is really that we develop, we advance these data sets with a common approach of standardization and harmonization. And this enables something that maybe discriminates WSIS from other resources, that you can interlink these WSIS data sets, for instance, at an organizational level. And this should be illustrated by this network here, where the dots are the data sets and the colors correspond to the topics that I have mentioned before. And you see that the two organization registers have a very special function here, as they are the central interlinking mechanisms between these data sets, enabling the joint analysis, for instance, projects, publications, and pattern analysis in one framework. And I think that's the point why I will hand over to Benedetto, who will tell us more about this.
Okay. Thank you. So I will give some details on the two organizational registers and on NOMA. And these are two very special enterprises within this broader context. The first, the register, answer to an issue which is relevant for all of us, which is identifying organizations across data sources. And data sources, I mean, can be databases like bibliometric databases, but can be also open sources like sources from the internet. And at some point in Regis 1 we said, hey, but we need to address this problem. You know that it's a complicated problem, there are name variants, there are changes of name over time, and we say we need to find a solution. And the solution has been surprisingly simple in terms of the idea, and surprisingly engaging in terms of work and details. And the solution has been to say we create a reference list of organizations, first in the public sector and then in the private sector. And the core idea, and the test we have made to prove it is correct, is that when you have a sufficiently clean and stable list, you get rid of most of the ambiguities of names. Because, for example, if you take Rome, you will find many names in the data sources about universities, about the higher education institutions, but if you know that Rome has just 3 or 4 universities, and they are located in some places with some profiles, the matching process will be much easier. So we got rid of many of these problems. And the second thought was that organizations are not so numerous like people or publications. So there are billions of individuals, there are 300 millions of individuals in Europe, and name ambiguity is a problem. But there are some thousands of research organizations in Europe. So standardization can be made in a more straightforward way by identifying them and by attributing identifiers, whereas with individuals, with publication, with more distributed setting, you could not. And we started from this very simple idea, and then it came the complexity, and we have a guy here in the team which is very good in raising issues about complexity with Philippe, and said but organizations are not independent, are nested, etc. So we had to design a methodology which is robust enough to deal with these subtleties of research organizations. And from all this is born ORGREG. So ORGREG, what is basically is a list of research organizations, public research organizations, so higher education, public research organization, hospital, and private non-profit within European countries. And the list comes with some properties. One is stable identifiers over time, which can be reused in the data set. Comes with a systematic tracking of the demography. So demography has been tracked from 2000 onwards. And with some tracking of linkages. For example, universities that are linked to hospitals or the French communities of universities. So it's a list which has all kind of properties unique for identification of organization. And the other property is that it's not a complete list, but a list which includes almost everything which has sizable research output. Because the list was created basically taking the patent database, the publication databases, etc., and finding all public organizations in the list. So it's really exhaustive. When we work at the national level, we see, for example, in my country, there are research organizations which I don't even know about. So it provides the list, it provides identifiers, it provides information on time changes, on geographical location and linkages. And how this list can be used, one purpose is to use the identifiers into RISIS dataset. So in the EUPRO dataset of European project at 80, you find the identifiers, which are the same you find in the European Tertiary Education Register for Higher Education, which are the same you find in Leiden, in the Web of Science copy in Leiden, which are the same you find in the PATSTAT version in Paris. Which means that actually I need patent data of European University for an analysis. I need some very subtle indicators. I just send to Philippe and colleagues in Paris a list of autograph identifiers and they get back the data. And this allows merging data in a very smooth way. The second use is substantive. We are writing papers, for example, on demography of research organization in Europe. It's the first database we have about all this. And given the character of these resources is available online. So you need to register to accept the RISIS charter of code of conduct, but then you can access, you can download the data yourself, and you can use them. That's a core function of RISIS. And ORG is having a bit broader, which is FirmReg, which is the similar idea with firms of creating a European register. Issues are a bit more complicated because numerosity is larger and demography is much more rapid, so it's not possible to go to the same level of detail of ORG. And we have now a pilot which is available in RISIS under restricted conditions using the three RISIS dataset on firms. CIP, Vico, and Cheetah, and including information on parent subsidiaries linkages. But the new release next year will comprise all firms with a sizable innovation output. And you say, how do you measure sizable innovation output? You take a patent database, you take PATSTAT, you standardize all names with FirmReg you identify all firms, you standardize all of them. Then you go into a publication database, you find maybe something more, and you set thresholds, of course, and we get a list which is very complete. And this will have the same function. You can use it for identifying firms, but especially for matching data. So at the end of this process, we will have, for research organization, public and private, the first complete standardization at European level. With some extensions possible, for example, to the US. And this can be used internally to RISIS, but for example, something we did for universities using this list is matching with research-based institutional profiles to analyze presence on social media. And when you have a certified list, it makes hugely easier to match with the data sources on internet, which are all their kind of ambiguities. So that's one key dimension where standardization made an incredible progress. And behind this there is work of maybe 50 people in the different countries. It's really a collective, organized effort. The second big advance we are doing is focus on ready-made indicators. So in the future we will have a core facility in RISIS where you can extract very fine-grained data, combine very complicated things with statistical tools. But we recognize most users, many scholarly and especially policy users, would have to have ready-made indicators. not just download all publication in one region, but know how many publication by region and by organization or by topic. And we are opening this process to produce ready-made indicators, and this is done in a project called NOMA, which is a separate project that is becoming part of RISIS. And the idea we had, of course, to build indicators, you need to define dimensions, because indicators are basically aggregated figures. And we found out there are three basic dimensions constructing indicators. One is organizations. You would like to aggregate by organizations. The second one is space, and it means you would like to have geographical coordinates and to be able to construct indicators at some level like country and regions. And the third one, which is the most challenging in NOMA, is defining research topics, and research topics that can be used across different data sources. You all know how complicated it is to manage classification of patents or publications. And the idea we are testing, and we are not completely done, but we are seeing the way, is to use text annotation methods via ontologies to create classifications which are uniform. And I want to emphasize, this is for building indicators. So for building what you get out from this process is number of European projects, number of patents, number of publications in one European region for that topic. You will not get necessarily precise identification of original sources. So RISIS NOMA is an interface which is public. You go to noma.eu, you can dive in and find all good points and still on problems in these indicators. And you can visualize maps of Europe based on the indicators. But then you can also download the data. Basically what you get as dozens of indicators on download production based on mainly publication, patents and European projects, some social innovation, by topic, refer to key enabling technologies and social design challenges, and this is 130 subtopics, and geographical spaces, countries, and we develop an adapted regional classification. And you can visualize, which is helpful for per se, but then you can download the data for your analysis, which is the move we are doing in RISIS, that as much as we can make public, we make public. Not everything can be made public because of confidentiality, licensing issues, but there is much that can be made available to users. That's what I wanted to present, and these are some directions. The RISIS website. The address is the core facility where you can access the data set. You can ask for virtual access, but you can also access to visits, which will remain important because then you can speak with people about data, you can work with them. And then the direct access to ORGREG and to the Aether Mirror in RISIS, and direct access to NOMA. You notice there are many addresses. We will go through a standardization process to the RISIS core facility in